Hello, it is the 21st Wednesday after Pentecost, and our reading today is out of Matthew chapter 10, verses 24 to 33, where Jesus continues his discussion, his discourse with his disciples as he's preparing to send them out to preach the gospel of the kingdom with these signs that will follow them and the persecutions that will follow them. And he's continuing to discuss the fact that they're going to have trouble. But he explicitly tells them, do not fear. That's really the theme of this whole passage there. Don't fear when they call you worse things than they call your master. And if they've called Jesus Beelzebul, what are they going to say about these guys? Don't be afraid, even if you get drawn before tribunals and before judges and they want to kill you. Don't be afraid. And in fact, don't be afraid at all, because your Heavenly Father, He knows what's going on with the smallest, minutest things in your world. And so He certainly can take care of you. Now, of course, there's one verse here which says to fear. It's often, I think, misunderstood. And it's verse 28 where it talks about, but fear the one who can destroy your body and soul in Gehenna, often translated hell. But of course, Gehenna there refers to the trash dump outside of Jerusalem. And Jesus is really saying, He's not saying be afraid of God. And of course, He's not referring to the fear of God there, because in the next verses, He's saying, don't be afraid because God is taking care of you and He's looking out after you. What He's saying is what you really have to look out for are not the people that are trying to oppose you, but the spiritual forces that are behind them and the spiritual forces that will drag you down, the work of the enemy that will try to destroy your body and soul. Remember, Jesus talks about the enemy and He says He's come to steal, to kill, and to destroy. He says that in the book of John. And so Jesus is talking about the work of the enemy behind those who are going to try to destroy you and will destroy you in other ways. And so I want to encourage you that God is not out to get you. And that's not what Jesus is warning the disciples about. But overall, in this whole passage, He's saying, look, don't be afraid. It's not going to be easy. You're going to be called names. You're going to be called names worse than Jesus was called. You're going to be suffer persecution. You're going to have trouble, but your Father is looking out after you in all of these situations. God has got it in control, and He cares about you. That's the thing that Jesus ties it up with, really. Look, trouble, but God cares about you, and He's going to see you through this. So do not fear. I want to encourage you with that word today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.